this is still one of those things I think is people who are taking hormone replacement therapy get it, and they're like, hallelujah, right? Other people might be skeptical and still don't understand it, but let's just start with the fact that hormones are basic things the body has to have to thrive and survive.
Well, that's right. You know, everybody has balanced hormones until they get to be about 30. Then things change. Both men and women start losing their hormones. As their hormones change, they don't feel right. So they start getting tired, they don't sleep well, lose their sex drive, start gaining weight, and bad things start happening to their marriages and their jobs. So they really need to get their hormones balanced so they can have a nice, healthy lifestyle both at home and at work going forward.
Yeah, and the thing is that we're living longer, because like it used to be like we're around 1900, the average age lifespan was like 40 years old, right? But we're living longer now, and so we kind of almost outlive our hormones. So it makes sense that if you're suffering from a depletion of hormones, you replace it, and then you're back to kind of normal.
Well, you're going to spend half of your life with hormones out of balance if you don't balance them, now that we live longer. So women in menopause spend half their life in menopause. If they don't take hormones in the proper way, they're just not going to feel right. And some people say, well, you don't need hormones. It's because for years they've been using synthetic hormones.
Yeah.
All the side effects, the blood clots, the heart attacks, the stroke, the breast cancer, we fixed all of that.
Yeah, because if it's bioidentical, your body has no idea that it's not making its own hormones. And bioidentical means it's just like your body. It doesn't mean natural. Natural is a little bit different thing, or you know, synthetic, as you mentioned. All right, you did kind of a study here with two twins, or of course it's two if they're twins, right? But twins, and one of them who, you know, both of them were dealing with hormonal issues. One of them who decided to do bioidentical, the other did another route, and so we want to kind of compare. So they started out pretty equal as young girls.
Yes, and you know, they got to be 30, and so Carol, who was the first twin, she started having those symptoms. She was tired. She wasn't sleeping right. She lost her sex drive. She'd had her kids, and she just thought, oh, this is not the way I used to feel. So she went to the doctor, and of course, what do you think happened to her? Well, she got put on antidepressants. That's what she said. I'm depressed, I'm irritable, I'm anxious. So antidepressants, not really the answer.
It's treating a symptom, not a cause.
Right. So she still didn't feel right, still had no energy, so she got more antidepressants, and that didn't do the trick, and now she gained all the weight from the antidepressants.
So now she's really depressed.
Now she needs diet pills and a fad diet so she can lose the weight, but she continued to gain the weight from the antidepressants. Her cholesterol goes up, so now she needs cholesterol medicine. So she has cholesterol medicine. Now she's 50, and she finally goes into menopause, and she goes to the doctor, and now she gets some synthetic hormones. But wait, those cause breast cancer, heart attacks, and strokes, everything else. So she says, I don't want that. So she quits, goes back and gets some creams, and the creams really aren't working because they don't have any testosterone in it. Well, here's some testosterone cream. Here's some more cream. Now she's on all these pills and creams.
Yeah.
Now
and then, of course, type 2 diabetes is around the corner. Because
right, and she's got more
right?
pills for her diabetes, and as it goes, she gets to be 60 and now has heart disease because nothing has protected her heart, and so now she's on more medicines. I see people come in with these bags, shopping bags with all this in there, and no one has checked their hormones.
And
now,
that should be a red flag. If you have a bag full of medicine, it should be a red flag that maybe we should figure out what the cause is and stop treating all these symptoms.
Well, her sister Ann, though, took a little bit different path. She had the same symptoms, had her children, and then at age 30 got her hormones balanced and maintained her hormone balance throughout life. If you look at them at 60, they look completely different. So the difference is either take all these pills and not feel right.
Can you figure out which one's depressed and has got some problems there?
A little bit different lifestyle.
Yeah, different lifestyle. Okay, so instead of all these things right here, let's get rid of all that stuff. This is what you will give your patients to replace. I say replace, it's not the same thing. The thing is, this is what will get rid of all those symptoms because you're going to the root cause, which is a hormonal imbalance. Tell us what this is and where that goes.
So what that is all bioidentical testosterone and estrogen. So both in men and women, we look at the lab work, find out where the deficiency is, and then balance them. So these hormones are made into pellets. All that is pure bioidentical testosterone or estrogen for females.
What your body would naturally be producing if it could anyway.
Right. We put it painlessly back here, right under the skin, in the hip. It doesn't hurt going in, and you only have to do it a couple times a year. So instead of taking all this every day or sometimes twice a day, you do it twice a year, and you keep your hormones balanced. You have the hormones there
So it
when you
releases
need
when
them.
your body needs it.
Exactly.
Wow, and look how little it takes to make that difference. And I know your patients have been on before, and I know for me, just with thyroid, a whole new life. I mean, I would be bedridden if it was not for figuring out what my issue was. And I have a whole new life because of balancing those hormones. All right, we have some folks in the audience that have some questions for you, starting with Kathy. Hi, Kathy.
Well, good morning. Yes, one of my questions pertains to menopause and anxiety attacks. Is there a collaboration there with the hormones?
Absolutely. As your hormones become imbalanced and you lose testosterone, anxiety and irritability and depression go up. Even when we balance your hormones, as they wear off, one of the key symptoms that they're wearing off is that you become much more anxious. You're much more irritable. Things bother you that didn't used to bother you. That's one of the telltales. So once we balance your hormones, the anxiety level comes way down. Then you don't need all the Xanax and all those other drugs. All those things do get you addicted to them, but they don't fix the root problem. Balance your hormones and you'll be off of those drugs.
Yeah, and a lot of those things that they prescribe can also damage your liver. You know?
That's right.
Okay, Darlene, hi there.
Hello. My question is, what's the long-term effect on your body of taking hormones such as Premarin and Provera?
So when you take synthetic hormones like Premarin and Provera, there's a big problem. Blood clots, heart attack, stroke, increased risk of breast cancer. That's a big problem because your body never made horse estrogen. We've known for years that Premarin was not exactly the same as the estrogen your body made. So it has to go to the liver and be converted into that estrogen. By going through the liver, you increase your clotting factors, and that's what increases your blood clots and heart attacks and stroke. All right, so that's a bit of a problem. The Provera is a synthetic progesterone. For 50 years, we've known that that increases people's risk of breast cancer. So that is a huge problem. Taking bioidentical progesterone and bioidentical estrogen is a much better thing, and you don't have the long-term side effects. What I do with the pellets has been around for 80 years. It's used in 5 continents. It has huge safety margins, nothing like synthetic.